5 Live Formula One.
Hello and welcome to Silverstone, the Chequered Flag podcast. After what was a fabulous race, we're right outside in the pit lane, McLaren, because of course it was a McLaren 1-2. Lando Norris taking the victory, and soon they will come out into the pit lane. They will celebrate, there will be champagne, there will be clapping, there'll be all sorts. Joining me for the podcast is Sam Bird and our lead commentator, Harry Benjamin. Sam, you're so decked out in McLaren kit, I can't talk to you first. Harry, that was a thrilling race. Well, come to you though.
Thrilling. It was quite frankly ridiculous, that race, from lap 1 all the way to the checkered flag. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Even, when rain is just about to lash down on the formation lap and you have cars coming into the pit lane before the lights even go out because they want to take a gamble. We had spaces on the grid. It really did kick off from the start. And you couldn't have predicted any part of that race, I don't think, Sam.
No, it was. I think chaos is the wrong word, but my God, what a race we had, Harry. I mean, we had safety cars, we had thrills, we had spills, and most importantly, we had 2 papaya cars absolutely bossing it at the front. Because, as you can see, decked out in papaya, that's what I wanted to see.
Look, we didn't even want impartiality here for you. We just wanted you to celebrate.
No impartiality at all.
Bathe in it.
Exactly. But the pace at which McLaren dominated this race, because I feel like all the other top teams threw away an opportunity to go with them. Max Verstappen half spinning. The Mercedes both going off the track, the Ferraris having issues going off the track as well, which opened the door for what I think is the story of the day, with Nico Hülkenberg, 230 odd Grand Prix, no podium, finally getting his reward in 3rd place.
There are good stories up and down the grid, aren't they? Hülkenberg started 19th. That's how you know it was chaos. Made his way up to 3rd. But you know what? He earned that podium. He had Lewis Hamilton down his neck. It was absolutely fantastic. But really, it was about the 2 McLarens. And Oscar Piastri, that 10-second time penalty, losing the win there. Norris got the win because of that. And Jenny, on the podium afterwards, 2 very different drivers at the end of that race in terms of how they were feeling.
I just asked him, did both of you agree with that 10-second penalty being applied to Piastri for... Have you explained it, exactly what happened?
Well, no, I haven't yet.
Okay.
So, essentially, let's just explain it, shall we say?
Do you want to do a yes and a no in on 3, 2, 1?
Okay.
Do you agree with the penalty? 3, 2, 1, no. Okay,
well,
that's good.
But I also see the other side of it. So look, this happened on the safety car restart. We had 4 safety cars in that race. Oscar Piastri then having to weave left, weave right. He takes over control of the race. Obviously, this is on the Hangar Straight as Bert Mailander comes in, and then he brakes very suddenly. He applies almost 60 PSI of pressure onto the brakes. He goes from 200 and something kilometers an hour down to 50 something kilometers an hour, and that catches Max Verstappen out. And Max Verstappen can't slow down in time and goes past Oscar Piastri. And now Piastri will be straight on the radio saying, well, Verstappen passed me, he's not allowed to do that. And then, of course, it makes Verstappen all flustered because now he's got to really slow down, let Piastri back through. And then Piastri goes, coming through Stowe. The stewards deem that, well, you as the responsible driver leading the pack, you cannot drive erratically, you cannot brake suddenly, and you have a responsibility. However, and that's why he got the 10-second time penalty, which he served in a pit stop. However, I think that is harsh, but I also see the other side of it. It's in the regulations. They've deemed that he was doing that erratically and was an infringement of the safety car restart. Should Max Verstappen have maybe anticipated a little better? He had the same thing happen to him in Canada, although it was less from George Russell. 30 PSI of brake pressure was applied in that instance.
I think the FIA have got to be careful now, because this has happened twice this season. I think they've got to come up with something a little bit clearer, like you cannot brake when you're on the straight. You do your braking for the corners, but in a straight, because otherwise it gets a little bit messy. How many PSI are they going to allow? Is it 30? Is it 40? Is it 50? Yeah. I don't know. I think the main thing is Oscar was in complete control of his car and was in a straight line. I think Max is so good that he saw an opportunity there and thought, you know what? If I make it look like this was dangerous, Max is able to process things very, very quickly. If I make this look a little bit dangerous, I don't have the car to win this weekend. I don't have the car. But if I can get them a penalty, like what he did in Canada with George, he pushed the FIA to look into it. Here, he's pushed the FIA to look into it and give a penalty. However, he's then made a mistake himself. And that's what we saw up and down the pit lane this weekend. Most drivers making mistakes. The only three that didn't were Nico Hülkenberg, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris.
You could say that mistake Piastri made was putting these brakes on and getting a 10-second penalty, I think. But we're just watching on. The reason I wanted to bring that up was because Piastri was leading this race. Do you, Sam, think a little bit that Norris was gifted this win, or do you think he really had to earn it? Or how do you split it?
I think, look, every win you have to earn, but it was a little bit gifted to him. But will Lando mind at all? Absolutely not. He will be absolutely thrilled as we see Lando coming towards us now. Big smile on his face. He's currently doing an interview right now.
Yeah,
it'd be nice if we can get to speak to him, though.
We have spoken to him. We will play out that audio. Don't worry. Oscar Piastri doesn't look that happy, but as you say, Lando Norris just chatting away to his content creators, the people around him, his team. You can hear the applause.
I think we could call Ted Kravitz a bit more than a content creator. He's the one talking to Lando at the moment, and you can hear the screams from the main grandstand. And I have to say, I'm actually quite disappointed. They've put down some black shades on the fences, so the crowd can't actually see this. They have to look through a black fence, which I think is a real big disappointment for them. I don't think that's right. But Lando's now joined Oscar, surrounded by the team. They've got the trophies there, round of applause, and they're surrounded by the gaggle with the likes of us, really, and photographers everywhere.
He's a young man absolutely living his dream. Until last year, until Miami, he hadn't won a Grand Prix. Now he's
Hard to
won.
remember.
Now he's won an opening race of a season, the Monaco Grand Prix, his home Grand Prix. I mean, yeah, he's on top of the world right now, closing in on Oscar Piastri's lead in the championship. He'll be a very happy man come this evening.
He came into this weekend riding high off of the win in Austria. He's got his own grandstands here in Stowe, which sold out, and I think it was about an hour. Did it sell out in about an hour months ago?
Yep.
There's plans for that to be even bigger. He is probably the most supported driver in the grid now, certainly actually rivaling Lewis Hamilton to be the most supported British driver. 8 points between himself and Oscar Piastri. We have only just arrived at the halfway point of this season. This is a battle that is going down to Abu Dhabi. It is going down to the wire, and it is between the two McLaren drivers who have different styles. They have different mentalities, but they are scoring points. They are making the best of the absolute rocket ship that the Woking team have given them. And what we're seeing here, well, we might not see it again with a regulation change on the horizon.
Well, let's hear from team boss. It is Andrea Stella.
Well, I'm feeling, like happy for the team, happy for the drivers. I'm sure Oscar has some bitterness because of having been in the lead if it wasn't for the penalty. But a great day for McLaren, P1, P2, home Grand Prix. A really very, very well executed race by everyone. So it's a good day for McLaren, a very positive day.
And for Norris as well. This is the dream for him, isn't it?
I think it is. The British Grand Prix in front of his fans, and there was a big stand, all yellow. Big day for Lando. I'm sure he was crying in the car. He will never say that, but I'm pretty sure. Maybe you can poke him and see what he says.
Just one last question. I know we want to get to the podium, but there obviously will be controversy about Piastri and that 10-second time penalty. He couldn't speak out, but what would you say?
Well, we just made our observations to the race direction. We said that we thought the situation was pretty much compromised by a late call of the safety car in, which put Oscar in a difficult position. This was not taken into account somehow, so there's no controversy. We take it. We will review what we can do better and we move on. Still 12 races to go, if I'm right. Plenty of opportunities for Oscar to use this extra motivation coming from today.
Well done again. Congratulations.
Cheers.
We've got my boss, Zach Brown here. Zach, how happy are you with that today?
Almost a perfect day. Obviously feel bad for Oscar. He drove a great race. Thought the penalty was a bit harsh, but these things happen. But for the team, 1-2, I think they called the race perfectly from pit wall, all the stops, the tires, and both our guys drove brilliantly, so a pretty perfect weekend.
Zach, would you say in all of McLaren's history, this is actually the best you may well have ever been?
I would say 1988 was pretty damn good, so certainly it's the best we've been since I've been around, but I think you got to have a look at a lot of mega years McLaren would have, but this is about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Lando has obviously held this dream for such a long time, and to see that come to reality, to see him succeed, that must feel so good for all the team, but especially for you personally.
Yeah, I've been with Lando for a long time, so it's actually one of the things I said to his father was, hey, I keep my promises. We're going to win some races together. So, no, from that standpoint, right, Adam, isn't that what I said to you? I said I kept my deal with you, which was we're going to win the British Grand Prix in some race, didn't I?
You did.
I
promised
did.
it.
Yeah, I promised it.
He did well. He did go. Your boy did better.
Adam Lando's dad just joining us there. I mean, where do you go to next? You keep your drivers fighting hard.
Spa
We do.
is on the schedule.
A sprint as well. You keep your drivers fighting hard,
Yep.
and it's all the way. Can you see this going all the way to the end between Lando and
Oh
Oscar?
yeah, I'm hoping it's a front row qualifying in Abu Dhabi, and may the best man win. So it'll be nerve-wracking, but that would be really epic, wouldn't it?
Well, sign up for that. That's fine. It's a deal. Hang on.
That's the plan.
You made Adam Norris a deal. Let's make a deal. Take it
All right,
down
that's
to
the
the
deal.
wire
We're
in
going down to Abu Dhabi.
Okay?
You got yourself a deal.
Deal. Thank you so much. Go and
Thank you.
enjoy it.
Thank you.
Celebrate.
Thank you.
Thanks, boss.
Thanks, Zach Brown, CEO of McLaren, and gives a hug to the employee Sam Bird as well. Getting good brownie points there, Sam. Well done.
I mean, the job that he's done, the job that Andrea has done, the way that they've been able to get the whole team around them, the 1,000 people that work for McLaren as a group, is stunning. They look untouchable. Every upgrade seems to work. Every person wants to go to work there. It's a thing of beauty, really, what they've built at Woking.
So Harry's with Lando right now. Harry.
Lando for the BBC, just how special is this?
Oh, it's pretty special. It's really special.
And what does it mean to get this Monaco British Grand Prix, 8 points to Oscar?
I don't care about that.
So that was Harry's best attempt at interviewing Lando. Let's hear from someone doing it properly. This is Mike Seymour.
Lando, massive congratulations. British Grand Prix winner. How good does that sound?
It sounds pretty good. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it was an incredible day, a long race, a long Sunday. A lot of things happened, a lot of chaos, a lot of stress, but to stay in the race, to stay calm, to have pace when I needed it, to push up to Oscar and get close enough to start overtaking. These were good moments. So I don't know. I think tomorrow when I wake up, it's going to be the best feeling, honestly, because it's more a reflection type thing, and now it's just the adrenaline's high and you're in the moment. And I think it's hard to realize what we all accomplished today as a team, which is a good thing. But tomorrow I look forward to it the most in a way. But yeah, for now I just enjoy it, to win at home. I said it's my biggest dream. I mean, apart from winning a championship. If I could win anywhere, I said I would win it here, and that's the only place I'd want to win. And today we managed to achieve it, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, achieved one of your dreams, and we saw some emotional scenes when you jumped out of the car as well with your family. I mean, how special is that?
I wish I could cry more sometimes. I mean, my mum, my grandma, my granddad. My parents, my sisters, my brother. They were all there. My manager, my trainer. There's a lot of people that are in, my team, my bubble, who are there for me, supporting me. It's not just me on track. It's a lot of people behind the scenes who are there to support me. So when we get to achieve something like this, it's really the best feeling you can imagine. And to have them all here, which is very rare to have, my especially from my family side, to have everyone here in one group. Normally it's just Christmas that we get that chance, but. Now it's here in a race, and we could all win it together. So really, that's I wasn't as emotional. I was just joyful and happy, but special for them because it's their win just as much as it's mine.
Very well done, Lando.
Thank you so much.
So that was Lando Norris speaking after his win. Harry, well, we heard that What happened in the pit lane? Was it a strange incident? Just talk us through it.
Well, after I failed with my interview there, he went over to the catch fencing, basically, which separates the pit lane from the fans who are all on the start-finish straight, and they ripped down, the photographer was on the fence, ripped down one of the black bits of curtain that they've put on the entire fence to cover it up as per an F1 ruling. And as the photographer has ripped down the black curtain, the curtain's come off and, well, basically whacked Lando in the face. And then he's had a cut of some description and now he's ran straight back into the garage.
There's a wooden baton along the top, which they can bat it into the actual cat's fencing, and that corner of that wooden baton is what hurt him. So we're still waiting for any sort of update, but Lando very much with his hands in his head going straight back towards the garage.
I think what Formula One have done here to basically put a black dark out blind to stop the track invaders. They're not track invaders, it's allowed here, to stop them from seeing their heroes, stop them seeing the teams that they love and adore. I think it's really poor, to be honest. These fans have paid hundreds and hundreds of pounds to come and see this event. Let them see what they want to see. We haven't seen this in the past. Last year when Lewis Hamilton won, we saw crowd surfing, etc. That's what the fans want to see, not a blackout blind. I think I'm disappointed to see that from Formula One.
And I just have to hope that Lando is okay. I'm sure they'll update us as and when they can. Well, we have to talk about one of the feel-good moments of maybe the whole season when we get to the end of it. Nico Hülkenberg, podium finisher. Yes, boy.
I mean, I have to admit, I was jumping up and down in my commentary box, willing Hülkenberg on in those last few laps because he was facing pressure from Lewis Hamilton. Ultimately, his tyres faded, which is why Hamilton's Ferrari couldn't quite get him. But look, Sauber and Hülkenberg made all the right calls today. And just to put this into perspective, Sam, I mean, look, he's been in Formula One for 15 years, 239 race starts, never stood on the podium. And today, it happened.
I'm so thrilled for Nico. This is a driver that we started at the same time. He got into Formula One 2010 with Williams, and he is a guy that has loads of talent, and for whatever reasons he's never been given a big shot with a big team when drivers with less capable speed than him have been, and he's been denied so many opportunities. He's been denied that podium for so many years. To see him get it now with an unfancied car was absolutely superb. He drove the wheels off it today. They made the right calls at the right times. Lady Luck was on his side, and see him get a podium, simply brilliant.
Let's hear from him.
I mean, how do you feel? Can you sum that one up for us? An amazing result for yourself and the team.
Obviously, feel happy, feel relieved. Also feel pretty, empty right now because, very, emotional roller coaster this weekend. Being virtually last yesterday and a pretty bad day to, one of the best days in my career. It's obviously a lot to take in, and that race, was intense with all the change of conditions. It was sketchy, a high-speed track with changeable conditions is never easy, and it's just a thriller because always you feel like with one, foot you're kind of losing the car and, in the danger zone. So it was very intense, and whilst I'm obviously happy and relieved, I'm also a bit tired and look forward to be home, to be honest.
You just said one of the best days of your career. When you're a karter, you dream of reaching Formula One. When you reach Formula One, you have those targets of points, podiums and so on. So to finally tick that off, I mean, is it quite a pinch me moment?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, how it's, the story of our season and how it's gone, how it's been today where we started, and what I said yesterday versus today. I mean, crazy stuff, but obviously we'll happily take today, take the points, take all the positives from it, because we did executed, I think, a brilliant race. I think we pitted pretty much, on the money every single time when we needed to, and look forward to a bit of celebration with the team back home.
And nobody will ask you about scoring a podium again. Yeah, well done, Nico.
So I think it's going to take a while for it to sink in that he has now got that monkey off his back, and when you carry something like that around for this long, to finally get rid of it, to finally achieve your own podium, and to just feel like, yes, it was worth all the sacrifice. That must feel so good.
I'm sure, look, there will be a sense of relief, but also Nico Hülkenberg is a very wise head on the shoulders. He's been around the block a long time, 37 years old. This isn't suddenly, I don't, he wasn't crying on the podium, for instance, but I think he knows he's had it in him, as he said. He knows this has been within him, but he hasn't had the car to always do it. Look, there's been a couple of times. He is one of the brightest talents, was one of the brightest talents when he came into Formula One. You don't get pole position in a Williams in a drying track in Sao Paulo for nothing. He's had a few missed opportunities. 2012, Brazil, crashed with Hamilton while leading the race. That went away. You look at 2019, I think it was, in the Renault, in a very similar race to what we saw today, but in Germany, where he was running for the podium places, and then he got caught out by the weather and crashed, and ultimately actually did that lose him his Renault seat overall, quite possibly. But he's had those moments where he's shown his brilliance. It's just never quite worked out for him. Today, the stars aligned. Sauber too, it has to be said, good pit stops, made right strategic calls. This jumps them up into 6th in the Constructors' Championship.
That's remarkable, isn't it? Considering at the beginning of the year, didn't think they'd score any points, to be honest. They looked really, really poor at the beginning of the season. But going back to Nico Hülkenberg himself, if he was smaller in stature and weighed less,
like you,
exactly. If he was, if literally you place his talent into my body, God, we'd be good. Andrew Benson there.
He just gave
Off to
you
go
a
and do
little
some
pinch,
work.
did he?
He did. He gave me a pinch. If he was in a smaller body, genuinely, there were regulations in place in 2011, 12, 13 in Formula One that really favoured that smaller, lighter driver. It's not quite so bad now, but drivers had to be a certain weight. You saw drivers literally starving themselves. He's a bigger guy. And that's the only reason why he didn't get big drives at Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, because he's got the talent. And I'm so thrilled that he's now got a little bit of silverware. So cool.
To think that actually he was out of F1, wasn't he?
He was.
And he only came back in by chance, really. He was the reserve driver for almost every team at one point. And it was lucky that he performed when he did and managed to win back a seat.
We all thought it was a bit mad leaving Haas for Sauber at one point. I know there's the bigger picture there of Audi, but we're not expecting them to be massively competitive from the off. But Nico Hülkenberg has gone from being out of Formula One. Do you remember that brilliant qualifying? I think, was it when in 2020 when we had the 70th anniversary race around this track? We had 2 Silverstone races, and he came in as a replacement for Sergio Perez and was straight back on it in the pink Racing Point. He never lost the speed, but he went away. He found himself out of Formula One. He tried other competitive motorsports. He's won Le Mans. Let's remember that. He's a Le Mans winner. He's tried IndyCar. He's tried all these other things. Nothing speaks to him like Formula One does, and to be rewarded like this, I think, is absolutely fantastic. We're not going to be expecting him on the podium every race weekend now, but certainly this lays good foundations for what may be to come with Audi, with Jonathan Wheatley and Mattia Binotto at the helm of that team now.
And just listening to him there, he was saying that they called it perfectly every step of the way. It was just one decision after the next, and they managed to leapfrog an entire chunk of the field. And I bet you a lot of that was down to Jonathan Wheatley transferring from Red Bull to Sauber, because he has that knowledge to go, let's do this, quick, react, and to call it perfectly.
Again, I think they're making some bright decisions at Sauber now. Look, let's not beat about the bush. They lucked in today. A lot of people made mistakes, but he was there at the right place at the right time.
Andrew Benson, BBC's F1 correspondent, has just joined us. We sent you off. You, in fact, sent yourself off to McLaren to find out the latest. What's the situation with Lando?
So Norris was climbing on the barriers overlooking the pit straight, where Formula One had put up screens to try and so the fans didn't celebrate there, but they were celebrating anyway. And there was a photographer climbing on the barriers next to him. He fell and knocked the trophy into Norris's nose, and he's got quite a bad cut on his nose. McLaren tell me he's okay, but yeah, so it's a bit of an unfortunate end to the celebrations.
Okay, thank you for getting some clarity on that. In the melee, we couldn't really see what was the matter and what was going on, but you've said that they've made that statement, and obviously it's a very unfortunate event for what should have been the moment he could celebrate with the fans, and it's ended up in him having to walk away and go back to McLaren and not celebrate with the fans. It's such a shame. But thank you so much, Andrew Benson.
Bye, Andrew.
Bye.
Bye, Andrew.
Just that.
He was giving us a kiss goodbye, a blown a kiss.
Very happy, Skippy.
It was a good race, wasn't it? That's why he's happy.
And he must just feel the positivity of Nico Hulkenberg. Driver of the day as well. I need to get from you. Are we all agreed? After 3, 1, 2, 3, driver of the day is Nico Hulkenberg.
Winning
Come
your
on.
winning your home Grand
Lando
Prix.
lucked into the win today.
It doesn't
because
matter.
Oscar
Winning
Piastri
your
got a
home
10-second
Grand Prix for the
penalty.
first time equals immediate driver of the race.
Wow, I think that social media is going to go off on you because
I love
that
Nico. I
just
love
is
Nico
not
Hulkenberg.
right.
I love him, and he deserves it as well. But I'm wearing papaya,
Lance
Jenny.
Stroll, 7th.
No.
Shush, you go now. Right, it has been a very hectic Silverstone. What a day we've had. Highs, lows, rain, sunshine. It's been thrilling. Silverstone always delivers. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to the whole team. This has been an IMG production for BBC Radio 5 Live.